I decided to make these videos because I haven't experienced things in my life that I figured I might be able to help people with who experience the same things. See, I've had hearing problems all my life. It's been kind of a roller coaster, my hearing has. I figured I'd first make this video to introduce myself, tell you a little bit about my background in this issue of hearing impairment, so you know that the videos I make in the future are coming from real experiences. I found out I first had a hearing impairment when I was about the first grade. Back then, they didn't have the technology to really screen the hearing of toddlers and infants, so they didn't find out my hearing problem until about kindergarten, when I wasn't speaking correctly, or I wasn't hearing sounds, so they decided to have it tested. They found out I had fluids in my ear, which is very common. So in the first grade, I had tubes in my ear. It's a very common procedure, and everybody thought my hearing was great. So do I. I mean, I have little memories of it, like being in the hospital afterwards, and somebody dropped something, and I jumped from a sound for the first time in my life. So, anyways, everybody thought my hearing was great until about the 4th grade, and you had a hearing test in school, where they put the headphones on and raise your hand. And I was confident, and I was still experiencing sounds, I've only been hearing things for a few years. But my hearing turned out to be so bad that I had headphones on, and I couldn't hear a sound that the kids in line could hear. So I got my first hearing aids in about the 4th grade. I always had hearing aids ever since then, from up to like high school age. My hearing got a little bit worse. I get a new hearing aid. I kind of had a good timing for my hearing loss because it was at the same time that hearing aid technology started to improve. So every few years I'd get a new hearing aid because my hearing got worse and it would be more as powerful hearing aid. Then about 17 years old, my hearing dropped so much that hearing aids didn't even help me anymore. So I stopped wearing them, All they could hear then was like a car horn. I couldn't hear voices very well, not enough to understand them. It affected my school, of course. I got bored in school. By the time I was about 20, 21, I was pretty much deaf. I could hear voices if it was very loud and very deep, but I couldn't understand what they were saying. I couldn't use the phone. So by the time I was about 23, I was completely deaf. I couldn't hear anything but maybe a jet engine, if it was real close to it. So I spent almost the next about 17 years of my life completely deaf. I didn't hear a thing. Then, a couple years ago, I had the flu, went to the doctor's office, and I said, I just brought it up and said, what about the cochlear implants? Can I look into that to see if they work for me? And they looked into it, I went and had tested, and about a year later, I had my surgery done, and about 6 months later, I got the cochlear implant. So basically, I'm hearing now for the first time in about 17 years. I've been deaf close to 20 as far as how I can understand speech, but completely deaf about 17 years. It's been an amazing experience this year, and I'm still experiencing new sounds all the time. So I decided, why don't I use my experiences to maybe help other people? Because I learned a lot of things about how to deal with communicating with people when you're deaf and hard of hearing, and I know there are a lot of people out there going through that. Maybe you have a hearing problem, or somebody you know does, and that affects everybody in your life. When someone you're close to loses their hearing, you have to learn to communicate with them. And a lot of things are going to happen with the person. You're going to have to adjust to it. You're going to get depressed. They're going to finally, hopefully, they'll come to terms with their deafness and learn to deal with it, But I know there's a lot of ways to ease communication between people. If you're hearing and your friend or loved one is deaf or very hearing impaired, there are ways you can make communication easier. A lot of people say sign language is the answer. Oh, that'd be great if all your friends and family knew sign language. But that's usually not the case when somebody loses their hearing later in life. They didn't grow up with it. So that's what I'm going to talk about with these videos. I'm just going to try to share my experiences and my tips. I'll carry my phone around with me, so if I'm in a place where I have an example where it might cause a problem for someone with hearing impairment, I might just pull up my video and just shoot a video my camera, shoot a video right then, just so I can just show a little tip that I might be able to share with everybody. So anyways, that's what this is about, and I'm going to be posting more videos as they come to mind. I'm sure I'll probably post another one as soon as I get done with this one. So if you're interested in understanding how to communicate with people with hearing impairment, or you have hearing impairment, or someone you're close to does, please subscribe, and I hope some of these videos help someone. Take care.